Shades of betrayal. The phone slipped from my hand, clattering onto the kitchen tiles with a sound like breaking bones. My wife's voice, sharp, intimate, not meant for me, echoed from the speaker before the screen went black. "He gets me, Liam. You'll never hear." The words carved into me, each syllable a blade slicing through the life we'd built. I stood frozen, the scent of burnt toast lingering in the air, the hum of the fridge a mocking reminder of normalcy. 10 years of marriage, and I hadn't seen this coming. I picked up the phone, its cracked screen reflecting my distorted face. The call had been a mistake. Clara's voice, meant for someone else, had poured through when I answered her misdialed number. My oil rig job kept me offshore for weeks, but I'd always thought our love was the anchor. Now, doubt gnawed at me like rust on iron. Was this a one-time slip, or had I been blind for years? The house felt different now, its familiar creaks and shadows turning sinister. Clara's yoga mat lay curled in the corner, her lavender lotion on the counter, her laugh still ringing in my memory from last night's video call. I replayed her words in my head, searching for clues I'd missed. She'd been distant lately, her smiles tight, her text scared. I'd chalked it up to stress, her new promotion, the long hours. But now, every memory felt like a lie I'd told myself. I sank into the couch, the leather coat against my skin, and scrolled through her messages on my phone. Nothing overt, just work chatter, emojis, a photo of her with colleagues at a bar. But one name kept appearing. Ethan. Ethan says the project's ahead. Ethan's picking me up for the meeting. My stomach twisted. Ethan, her co-worker, with his easy grin and tailored suits. I'd met him once, at her office Christmas party. He'd shaken my hand too firmly, his eyes lingering on Clara a beat too long. I wanted to call her, to scream, to beg for an explanation, but my throat felt sealed shut. Instead, I poured a whiskey, the burn grounding me as I paced the living room. The clock ticked past midnight, each second a hammer against my resolve. I needed proof, something tangible to confront the dread pooling in my chest. Her laptop sat on the dining table, its lid half open like an invitation. My fingers hesitated above the keyboard. This wasn't me, snooping, distrusting. But the voice on the phone had cracked something fundamental. The laptop hummed to life, her password unchanged since we bought it. Emails loaded, and there it was, a thread with Ethan, buried in a folder labeled work. "Meet me at the usual spot. He'd written last week. Miss you already." Her reply, "Can't wait." My vision blurred, the words swimming like oil slicks on water. I scrolled further, each message a deeper cut, late-night drinks, inside jokes, a photo of them laughing in a booth, her hand on his arm. The timestamps matched my shifts offshore, when I was sweating in the Gulf, trusting her completely. I slammed the laptop shut, my breath ragged. The room spun, the walls closing in like a rig collapsing under pressure. Anger surged, then grief, then a hollow ache I couldn't name. I wanted to hate her, to storm out and never look back, but love clung to me like damp salt air. Maybe she was lonely. Maybe I'd failed her, always gone, always chasing the next paycheck. $210,000 a year, and it wasn't enough to keep her. The front door clicked open. Clara stepped inside, her heels tapping softly, her face pale under the porch light. "Liam, you're home early." Her voice was too bright, like glass about to shatter. "Who's Ethan?" The question slipped out, low and raw, before I could stop it. Her eyes widened, just for a moment, then narrowed. "A co-worker." "Why?" But her hands trembled as she set her bag down, and I knew. The truth was in the air between us, heavy as crude oil. "Tell me," I said, stepping closer, my voice shaking with a mix of fury and desperation. "Tell me before I lose what's left of us." She opened her mouth, then closed it, her gaze darting to the laptop. Silence stretched, thick with unspoken confessions. Then, softly, she whispered, "I didn't mean for it to happen." The words hit like a wave, cold and suffocating. I waited for her to say more, to explain, to beg forgiveness, but she just stood there, eyes glistening with tears she didn't shed. And in that moment, I saw it, not just betrayal, but her choice. She'd chosen him, chosen herself, over the life we'd sworn to share. I turned away, the room blurring as I grabbed my keys. "I'm done," I said, the words tasting like ash. But as I stepped into the night, the weight of her silence followed me, heavier than any truth she could have spoken.